All right, listen up. This is the Music Scene Podcast. I am your host, Dave Cudrak. Today on the show, we've got Jason Puglise, the son of a friend of mine. Shout out to Scott. I've known Scott for a while. Jason is relatively new on the scene as far as, doing his solo thing. He used to be in a punk band. Super talented, emo type style. So I'm sure you'll dig it. We talk all about, how he got started, and, past projects and everything and influences. He's got some really insightful information on the Doors. So, I'm kind of a casual Doors fan. So I didn't really know much. He taught me a lot. So, anyway, a couple of announcements. I've got a new single coming out. It's called The Alchemist. It will be available on all platforms. June 20th, you can pre-order it on June 2nd. It's an acoustic instrumental song, very similar to like John Butler, if you're familiar with a song that he has called The Ocean. It's certainly not a copy of that song, but it's inspired by it. I hope you dig it. And also the week after, on June 27th, I've got an album coming out. It's all acoustic covers. Some of my favorite songs that I like to play live. I think it sounds great, if I do say so myself. I'm pretty happy with the production of it. I just recorded it here in my little makeshift studio and really happy with the way it turned out. So check that out on June 27th, available on all platforms. I think you can pre-save it on Spotify now. And as always, yes, I know you can stream it for free, but if you really want to help a brother out, go to iTunes and buy it. 99 cents per song. It's not going to break the bank, but it'll certainly help me out and keep me doing what I'm doing. So thank you very much. And here is my conversation with Jason Puglise. All right, we are here with Jason. I always forget how to pronounce your. Is it Puglise?
It's Puglise.
Puglise.
Yeah.
All right, say it for me, Jason.
Puglise.
Okay, good. So I know you because I'm friends with your dad, Scott, and I've known Scott for a long time.
Yeah.
And yeah, you guys came to the open mic that I host at Little E's, and you and your dad did, I think, Broken Halos that night. And then I think you did, I forget the other songs that you did, but you have been part of a punk band. And I think now, correct me if I'm wrong, I think now you are trying to do your own solo thing, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So where did you kind of get your start? When did you first start playing and all that stuff?
Well, the first instrument I picked up was a bass because my buddy from the punk band that I was in said he needed a bass player. So I was like, I can play bass.
Nice.
And my dad was kind of pissed at me because he's been playing guitar like his whole life. So we have like 3 guitars in the house. And he's like, you want to play bass? What the heck? But he got me a bass for Christmas it was.
Nice.
I actually first started playing bass on a keyboard.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like the Doors kind of side.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
And that really wasn't working out because it was a punk band.
Yeah, right.
So my dad bought me a bass for Christmas,
Mm.
and I really got into it, like Primus, trying to learn all that. Primus.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah. I think the first song I learned on bass was "Feel Good Inc." by the Gorillas. Really
Okay.
Bass line.
Yeah. Yep, that's cool. What kind of bass was it?
It was Ibanez Geo.
Okay,
It's
nice.
a real beginner kind of bass.
Yeah. Yep. And did you continue with the bass? Are you still occasionally playing bass, or is it all guitar now?
Every now and then, it's mostly guitar. I'll pick up the bass for fun.
Okay.
It's mostly.
Yeah, I have my own bass at home too, and I primarily use it just if I'm going to try to record something at home, and I need a simple bass line. But it's fun. Like it's a fun instrument to just mess around with because you've only got those 4 strings and you don't have the wonky B string like you do on the guitar. So pretty much anything you play on the bass guitar sounds pretty decent. There's no strings that are or notes that are way out of whack. You know what I mean? So it's fun. So but now when I've seen you play, you've always played guitar. So
Yeah.
how long did it take for you to move from bass to guitar?
Well, my first guitar I got was a gift from my grandfather,
Hmm.
and I would always play bass, pick up a little guitar just like for fun, my dad's guitar. But he gifted me this guitar, and I really wanted to start, learning,
Yep.
because expanding my horizons.
Sure.
So I started learning. The first song I ever learned was Nutshell by Alice in Chains, which is
Nice.
a tremendously sad song.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend at the time, she would always get mad at me because whenever I pick up the guitar, I play Nutshell, and like I would get into this slump. She's like, "Come on, like knock it
Yeah.
off."
Yeah, that's a rough song. I don't think I've ever really learned it. I know the song, I know of the song, but I never really tried to even bother learning it because it's one of those songs that it just brings the whole room down.
Yeah.
That's cool. So what was the name of the punk band that you guys were in?
We were formerly known as Sap. Now it's Sapped.
Okay. All right. And are you guys still doing shows? Are you still
I
together?
left about a year ago.
Okay.
Just
All
for
right.
like they were really into it, and I
Mhm.
had to like, I have a kid. I got a
Mhm.
job, so I
Right.
gotta take
Yeah.
a step back.
I
And
hear you.
they were. I mean, I'm still cool with them guys.
Yeah.
Gabe is
Yep.
like a brother to me,
Nice.
but yeah, I just need to step back. Take
I
a
hear
break.
you.
And I just started getting back into it maybe like a couple months ago.
Okay. Nice. Nice. So when you were learning either bass or guitar, did you ever take lessons or you pretty much self-taught?
I don't want to say self-taught because I like to think of myself as like a jack of all trades, a master of none. You know what I mean?
I hear
Like
you.
I can
Yeah.
play drums, bass. I'm
Oh,
an
really?
amateur drum player, but yeah,
Okay.
I know everything, but I'm not too good at anything. Yeah,
I hear you. I hear you. So do you have a drum kit at home then,
I
or?
have an electric drum kit.
Oh, nice.
I learned
Nice.
on an acoustic drum kit. My buddy gave
Oh,
me.
okay. Gotcha. Very cool. How long have you been messing around with drums then?
Um, I want to say maybe like a year.
Okay.
Technically, it's my sister's drum kit, but
Yep.
she don't play it. So I'll play a couple songs, maybe some
Mhm.
Nirvana, maybe some Prince. It's really easy.
Right,
So,
right.
yeah,
Very
I'll dabble.
Okay. All right, cool. And are you writing your own music too?
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of songs that I don't perform because
Okay.
I don't know.
Why
It's like,
not?
I don't know, man. It's like, I don't know. It's scary.
Well, of course it's scary. It's one of the reasons why we do it.
Yeah, this will be my first time playing songs of my own.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice. We're looking forward to it. It'll be fun. Yeah. So how would you describe your style then?
I'd say emo.
Emo.
Maybe
Okay.
like a Midwest kind of folky emo. Yeah.
Okay. So you have to educate me. I'm an old middle-aged
I
man.
know. Yep.
So you're like, yeah, I know.
I know.
So
Dave.
when I hear emo, I kind of think, and correct me if I'm wrong or if you don't see it that way, I feel like the first emo band was The Cure way back in the 80s, right?
Mhm.
But nowadays when I hear emo, I kind of think of maybe My Chemical Romance. Like what is emo to you guys? Explain it to me.
My Chemical Romance is just a great band. I've seen them in
Sure.
Vegas. They're one of my favorite
Oh,
bands.
you are?
But,
Nice.
yeah.
Nice.
Emo to me is more like new age emo, maybe like 2010s,
Hmm.
especially like Modern Baseball was my favorite bands ever.
Okay.
You should look them up.
I've never heard
They're
of
really good. Oh my god, dude.
All right.
Title Fight, I really like. Slaughter Beach Dog. Yeah,
Mhm.
just you don't know.
I don't, but that's okay. You can shout them out because
Yeah.
I'm assuming other listeners will know who they are.
Some of my favorite bands. Emo, just like I mean, as a youth,
Yeah.
it resonates with me.
Okay. Like what? What is it about those bands that
Just
hit home?
very like simple lyrics with very like heavy topics. I mean, falling in love when you're like a teenager,
Sure. Yep.
messaging girls on Instagram or whatever, drinking with your friends. It's like
Right.
doing stuff you're not supposed to. It's just like emo just encapsulates teenage angst.
Yeah, I
I
hear you.
really
Yep.
dig with that as a naughty 17-year-old.
I got you. I got you. And so the music that you write, is that also like emo, or how would you?
I'd say it's more. I'd say it's emo. I tend to lean more into like kind of like Jeff Buckley kind of vibes.
Okay.
I really love Jeff
Nice.
Buckley,
Nice.
but it's an amalgamation between like Jeff Buckley and kind of Midwest emo.
Okay. And when you're writing, I mean, the songs that you have, I mean, I assume they're not recorded, right? You don't have anything released just yet, right? How do you see those songs eventually getting out there? Are they
I
just a
mean,
solo acoustic song, or are they going to be with a full band and all that stuff?
the songs I write are pretty like loud,
Hmm.
pretty noisy. So I mean, eventually I would love to, get in the studio and put everything together with some, heavy distortion
Yeah,
and
yeah,
scream
yeah.
my heart out.
Yep.
But as of now, they're just acoustic.
Okay. All right.
I find it difficult to write with an electric distorted guitar. I think
Yeah.
it's more like, I don't know, from the heart with an acoustic guitar, and that's what I
Sure.
get down.
Sure. Yeah, and I think a lot of people, a lot of songwriters that I talk to, and including myself, we all sit down and kind of write as acoustically as possible, right? Because with the acoustic guitar, you don't waste a lot of time turning knobs and trying to find the right sound and all. It's just you strum your chords or you play your riff or whatever, and then you can kind of get it out there, right? You can kind of construct the melody based on whatever you're strumming and all that stuff. So, yeah, I think a lot of people I'm sorry. I think a lot of people write with the acoustic, and then maybe like a previous guest, Mike Navis. He's a like a punk guy, and he writes all acoustic. But then when he goes into the studio, he hires like a full band. You know what I mean? So whenever you listen to any of his albums, it's full on punk band vibe. You know?
I think I know that guy.
Yeah.
Is he a big punk guy?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
pretty
You
cool.
might know him if he may have been at well, maybe you've seen him on social media. He's got like red curly hair and a beard.
Yep.
And his mom is super supportive and posts like all his gigs and stuff like that. He's a good kid. He's great. And yeah, he's a big punk dude, you know. But yeah, he's cool. When you're writing, how does a song come about?
Um, so I read a lot of books
Mhm.
and poetry. So
Yeah,
I'll pick out lines that I really like and I'll kind of, interpret them in my own way
sure.
and build lyrics around that. Like it could take a month to write a song and really like it, but one of the songs that I want to play tonight,
Mhm.
I wrote in like 10 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes that happens,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yep. How did that come about? Tell me that
Um,
about that experience.
well, I just you sit down and you write that one lyric you really like and you find a rhyme to it and you
Hmm.
find another rhyme for that and you build it and build it.
Yep.
So I
Did
mean,
you
it
intend
just comes to me.
did you intentionally sit down to write a song that day and that's what came out, or did something just kind of
No, I
spark?
mean I have a lot of poetry. I have books and books of
Oh,
poetry
okay.
that
All
I'll
right.
kind of formulate into songs, but
Mm-hmm.
some I'll put to the side, some I'll want to put into a song.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
When did you first start writing poetry then?
Um, I want to say maybe like 2.5 to 3 years ago.
Okay.
I really Jim Morrison is like my guy. I
Sure,
love
sure.
Jim Morrison. He was a big poet, and he
Yeah.
kind of inspired me to write my own poetry. So he's like my Virgil to my Dante.
Nice.
He's like my God.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Yep. Very cool. What are some of your favorite things from him, whether it's a song or a poem or whatever?
I have a compilation. I have a big, huge book of all his works and all
Hmm.
his lyrics and poetry. But his I don't want to call it a solo album because it's an amalgamation of his poetry mixed with the Doors music.
Okay.
But it's An American Prayer, which is one of my favorite albums of all time.
Okay.
It's
Nice.
such a good album.
Nice.
His prose combined with Ray Manzarek's keyboard and Robbie
Hmm.
Krieger's guitar is just like
Okay.
it's so good.
I don't think I've ever heard it because I've never been a big Doors guy. I mean, I certainly have respect for them and their art and all that stuff. And when the Doors movie came out with Val Kilmer before you were born, I went and saw that in the movie theater. And I loved it. I thought Val Kilmer, who just recently passed away, I thought he did a great job
Yeah, of course.
in capturing Jim Morrison's vibe and all that. But I was never like a huge fan of their music. So what's that album called?
An
American
American Prayer.
American Prayer. Okay, cool. I'll probably check it out. You said it's kind of like, you said you didn't want to call it a solo album. So what's different from
'Cause
the other Doors albums?
An American Prayer came out after Jim died.
Oh,
In 1972, I believe.
okay.
And he had a lot of poetry recorded, and the Doors wanted to kind of commemorate him and put music to his.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's more written like speaking and
Mhm.
prose rather than a typical song
Yeah.
with singing.
Yeah, that's cool. I'll have to check that out. That sounds interesting. Awesome. What else? Who are some of your other influences?
I said Jeff Buckley.
Mhm.
Jeff Buckley is just a master of everything. I love Jeff.
I was going to say, tell me why you like him. I mean, obviously, I think everybody knows of his version of Hallelujah, right? It's like one of the greatest renditions ever. But what else about Jeff Buckley do you like?
From Hallelujah, his album Grace is one of the best albums of the 90s, I think. His voice is it's so unique. It's so high pitched that you wouldn't expect from like, you know, a man. It's almost like he has like a female voice. There's notes he can hit.
Right.
And his guitar, I believe he's classically trained in his voice and guitar. He went to Berkeley.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But he's a master of everything.
Yeah.
And his covers, you would never think that those are covers because they're so masterfully done.
Well, it's funny you say that because I always thought that Hallelujah was his song.
No,
and then
Cohen.
right. And then I had somebody in here and we were talking and I was like, oh yeah, he wrote Hallelujah. And they was like, no, he didn't write that. That's just his version. There's like 100 different versions out there and his just happens to be like the most popular one. So yeah, it's funny that you said that. So when you're writing your own songs, do you try to kind of mimic, or not mimic's not a good word. Do you try to capture some of that same essence as like Jim Morrison or Jeff Buckley or anyone else?
I mean, definitely with Jim Morrison, I would say in my songwriting, I think it's like I kind of beat myself up because most of my lyrics are very like, I don't want to say cryptic, but I mean, it's very poetic.
Yeah, they're kind of metaphorical maybe, or open to interpretation.
Yeah.
Okay.
And most of the music I listen to is very like, you know, very blatant. Like most of the emo is very like, I'll say what I mean. And
okay.
I really want to make that kind of music. But like my poetry and my emo don't mix. So it's like,
well, no, that's cool. I mean, that's maybe your way of trying to find your own style.
My own spin on it.
Yeah, exactly. Like I tried writing like you do, right? Like where the lyrics can be open to interpretation. And that's something I struggle with, you know. For whatever reason, my brain just wants to explain everything. You know what I mean? I always go back to, you remember the band Bush in the 90s, right?
Of course.
I mean, they were a great band and they were hugely popular, right? I have no idea what any of their songs are about.
Yeah.
You know, I know all the words, I can sing along, have no idea what they mean.
Glycerine, what the hell is that?
Right. Exactly. So how, as someone who can't write the way you do, try to explain to me how you write those types of lyrics that are more metaphorical.
It's really an emotion I'm feeling at the time, or like maybe like a thought that's getting to me, and I don't want to write that so blatantly, so I'll kind of, you know, shroud it in these other words, and I'll build up this, you know, congregation of other rhymes and feelings and words that relate to that main idea that I was feeling at the time.
Gotcha. That's cool. I guess I never even really kind of approached it that way. So you're almost like camouflaging.
I try to hide my feelings a lot.
Man, that says a lot about you.
It's a sound.
No, that's cool. I like it. Does your dad ever help you like write, or has he taught you anything on the guitar, things like that?
No,
or
actually, he didn't really want to teach me, but my grandpa really wanted to teach me because he's a great guitar player too. I mean, my dad will pick it up every now and then, but they never really taught me.
Yeah.
I don't want to put that in like a bad way, but I always learned on my I always learned on my own. You know?
Right.
Just like learning simple songs from like Nutshell or Polly, putting those chords together and you know, eventually building it up. Like I don't play a lot of solos. I'm not that kind of guy.
Okay. So you wouldn't consider yourself a shredder?
Nah.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but your dad, I mean, you guys have played together at at my open mic at Little E's. So, you know, I assume you play occasionally, like even if it's just around the house, you guys just kind of jam together occasionally, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But you never actually sat down and be like, hey, Dad, you know, can you teach me this or whatever? Okay.
I'm very hidden with my musical, endeavors.
Well, it's funny that you say that because, like, I don't come from a musical family at all, right? Like, I learned guitar all on my own, and I was always like embarrassed to play in front of like my family. Like I think that goes for a lot of other musicians too. Like you try to, cause you know, in the beginning you suck, you know what I mean? So you don't want anybody to laugh at you, be like, yeah, he's been trying to learn that song for 4 weeks and still can't get it. You know what I mean? So you always lock yourself in a room, right? So that's why I'm very much envious of other people who I've interviewed or just friends of mine who are like, oh yeah, my dad plays, my mom plays, we do this, we do that, and and I'm like always so envious. Like, wait a second, you didn't have to like hide your talent for the first 14 years.
Well, I think I differ from you in that because
Okay.
my first, experience playing was with other people in the punk band.
Oh,
So
okay, yeah, yeah.
I got to learn these songs and come to you guys and have confidence playing. Because, I don't want to say get nervous, like coming up on stage, but everybody gets nervous.
Sure, sure.
But I think I'm used to it because our first show, we got the cops called on us.
Did you really?
So it's like, the time for nervousness is like
Right.
it's out the door. You just gotta play. You gotta get in there. You
Right,
gotta punch
right.
some people. So it's like
Tell me about that experience. Was it like a house party or something?
no. So it was an Atco because my buddy grew up there and he had some friends there. And outside of his one friend's house was a gun club that was. I don't know if they didn't use it or it was closed or something. So we got our huge Marshall stacks out there and started playing. And, a couple friends came and then more friends came and then more friends came. And
You were outside? Were you playing
yeah,
outside?
we were outside.
Oh, okay.
The gun club was closed.
Gotcha.
So we
Yep.
hauled a generator out there, got some gasoline and,
Nice.
plugged everything in and then all the, headlights were
Oh,
stage
cool.
lights. So
That's
it was really cool.
Yeah.
It was cold outside, but
Sure,
it was
sure.
pretty cool.
Yep.
And then we got the cops called on us, noise complaint. They never came, but
Right.
we've seen them, in the tree line.
That's fun. Did you guys ever play like out anywhere, like in any kind of
yeah.
bars or anything? Where'd you guys play?
Our main place was the Union Firehouse. I think it's called something different now.
Yeah. Well, so yeah. Well, the Union Fire, it's still up. You're talking about Mount Holly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still called that, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Case de Rays is a good place in Vineland.
Okay.
I think they changed their name.
Yeah.
That's one of
Yeah.
the
They're like
their name.
Bar 837 or something weird like that. Yeah.
They were a really cool place.
Over at the Landis.
The
Yep.
sound guy kind of fucked us over a couple times, but it's neither here nor there. But yeah, we played. Oh my god, from like the dingiest basements to places like that, pretty nice places.
Okay.
So we've been everywhere.
Sure.
Do
Sure.
do some things you regret, punch some people.
Of course. Of
Yeah.
course. Did you guys play covers or originals?
Kind of half and half. We would
Okay.
play, Nirvana, Queens of the Stone Age. Our covers weren't very punk, more like 90s grunge.
Okay.
But our originals were very punk.
Okay.
Like blast beats, kind of,
Nice. Was your singer like a screamer?
So it was me and this guy Gabe.
Mhm.
We were kind of like Lane Staley, Jerry Cantrell.
Oh, I see. Yep.
Switch off, yeah.
Okay.
So I don't think
Yeah.
any of us were in the limelight.
Yeah, I hear you. Did Gabe play an instrument or?
Yeah, he played guitar.
Oh, okay.
He
So
made me buy a bass.
gotcha. All right. So he played guitar and sang. You played bass and sang. Did you have another guitar player?
We got one.
Okay.
Right before I left, maybe like a couple months before I left. Tim Brown, he was a very, very good guitarist.
Okay,
He was,
cool.
like could solo over anything.
Nice.
He was a very good guy.
That's awesome. And then who was your drummer?
We had like 20 different drummers.
Oh, did you?
So like it was never cut in stone with any guy.
Yeah. A lot of people I talk to with bands, it's always like, yeah, we've had like 5 or 6 drummers. Yeah. It's so funny.
Few and far between.
They're so hard to find, and then you finally find one, and then you're looking for another one a few weeks later.
Every drummer there's like 20 guitar players.
Yeah, exactly.
It's hard to find.
Yep, exactly. And then bass players, you just have to recruit one of your friends.
Yeah.
Tell
them, hey, this is easy. You only got 4 strings.
So what do you like to do like when you're not playing music?
Well, I work at Autumn Lake Winery, which I think everybody and their mother has played at.
Yeah.
very
Except for me, I've never played there.
No, really?
Not yet. I've tried to, but so far I haven't gotten a gig there yet.
You get some pretty big crowds there.
Yeah.
But I do like to read.
Mhm.
I like to write a lot of poetry.
Okay.
I only read really and play guitar. That's what I do. I work, read, and play guitar.
Nice.
Right now, I'm reading the Witcher series.
Okay.
It's very good. They made a TV show about it.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. I've never read it, but it sounds familiar.
Yeah. I love reading. My bookshelf is like giant.
Okay.
Yeah. I love
Very
reading.
cool. Where did that come from? Is your family big readers?
No.
No?
I don't even think my dad knows how to read. I don't know. I mean, I think it started with Jim Morrison and
Oh,
his
okay.
poetry.
Yep.
I think like for Christmas when I was like 12 or something, my mom got me that, you know, book of his poetry it
Okay.
talks about, and I read that, and then I started like reading other things and reading other things and reading other
Hmm.
things, and
Yep. And
just stemmed from there.
so who turned you on to the Doors then?
Um, I don't want to say my grandmom because she died when I was very young, but
I knew your
she,
grandma. You mean on your mom's side?
yeah,
Yeah, I knew your grandma.
really,
Yeah, she was great.
that's
Yeah, I
cool,
went to
man.
her funeral and everything. Yeah.
Really, that's
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, she was
Yeah,
very
because
cool.
you know my aunt.
Yep.
You're close to my
Yep.
aunt.
Yeah.
So I mean she, you know, expressed her love through the Doors.
Susan, right?
Susan,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And then my mom and Aunt Heather who were really
Yep.
big into the
Yep.
Doors, and
Yep.
then I got that from my mom, and my mom was like, Grammy would have loved you.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, Susan was awesome. Yep. What else do we got going on? Oh, so I think you said you played Autumn Lake Winery, right? Or you were going to,
Yeah,
or
yeah. I played. I was filling in for some other guy. I couldn't tell you who it was,
okay.
but I played my first 2 hour show on my
Nice.
own. It was a little rocky. It was rough because I mean I was expecting to play, you know, months in bands, so I haven't
Okay.
practiced my set, so
Right.
it was a little rough. But I mean it was a cool learning experience
Right, right,
because I
right.
mean I with the band I depended on other people,
Sure,
you know,
sure.
so
Yep.
it's playing with a full band is like amazing, but playing by yourself is like this is a little scary because you gotta, you know,
There's nowhere to hide.
there's nowhere to hide. Yeah, you can't find that pocket and like
Yep.
turn your brain off. It's like you
Yeah.
gotta, you know, maintain your stage presence.
Right,
And
right.
playing with you with out at Little Ease, sorry,
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
say Autumn Lake
Yep.
at Little Ease. I mean,
Mhm.
that's like 2 or 3 songs. It's like
Mhm.
nothing too,
Right, right. It's a lot different than 2 hours.
yeah, which is a little more tough. You know,
Sure, sure.
I'm a sucker at remembering lyrics. I cannot remember lyrics
Oh,
for the
really?
life of me. Yeah, so I'm like on my phone. I'm like, oh, my phone's gonna die. What am I gonna do? I gotta, you know, figure this out. So
Right, right, right.
it was a little rough. But I mean,
Sure. Any shows coming up? Anything booked?
I have a show at Autumn Lake,
Okay.
May 22nd, which is
Okay, good. So you must
3 hour show.
you must not have completely fucked it up, or else
Yeah.
they wouldn't have
Yeah.
they wouldn't have booked you again.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to that. I got my shit together this time.
All right. Good. Good.
Gonna,
Nice.
you know, play my originals, get out there with my originals.
Okay,
You're
cool.
giving me the confidence. To,
Nice.
you know, get out there.
Nice. Awesome. What are you? How many originals do you think you're gonna work in? Just curious.
Right now I have like 4. I'm really proud.
Okay. Nice. Nice.
So yeah.
That's a good mix, I think. In a 3 hour show, I mean, I've got 4 or 5 originals, you know, and yeah, usually in any 3 hour show, I mix in 2 or 3 of them. Maybe if I'm playing a 4 hour gig, I might throw in another two or so. It all depends on the crowd, right? If you know,
Yeah.
and I usually do it later, like after I've kind of won the crowd over, you know, like once they're comfortable with me up there, I'll usually say something like, "You guys mind if I play one of my own?" And usually the room's like, "Yeah, okay," you know. But if I'm just background music, then I might still play one of my originals, but not announce it. You know what I mean? Yeah, like I'll just throw it in the middle of 2 songs and not even announce it. And, you know, because lots of times when you go to places, you are just background music. You
Yeah.
know, it's not like it's your concert. It's not like people are there to see you. They're just there to drink wine and have a good time and talk with their friends. So, you know, how did you feel like after your first gig?
It was actually, oh my God, it was so awful.
What was so bad about it?
Cause I mean, I work at Autumn Lake Winery,
Yeah.
so I'm out there in the tractor, like so far in the fields, and my coworker Jess calls me and she's like, "Hey, we need you for a 2 hour set in like 30 minutes."
Oh,
Like,
really? You didn't have any
I clock out in 15 minutes.
Oh, wow. So you had no preparation.
No,
Oh,
I went home,
okay.
grabbed my, you know, my PA, my guitar. I'm like, okay, now I gotta figure this out right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, that's tough for anybody to do. You
yeah,
know?
yeah,
Man, it's one thing if you've got like a date on the calendar and you're preparing for it, especially for your first like real gig playing in front of people. That's
Yeah.
tough, dude. That's tough to try to muster up that whole thing in
Yeah.
30 minutes. So I feel for you. What songs are you going to play for us?
I'm gonna play. I don't have a name for it right now. I don't have a name for it.
Okay.
But-
The song that will remain unnamed.
It's in my notes as title.
Title.
Yeah. So I don't know what to do with that
All
one.
right.
And I named the other one Gray One.
Gray One. All right. Now, I know you said a lot of times, your lyrics are metaphorical and stuff. Did you want to give us an idea of what they might be about, or just leave that open to interpretations? Entirely up to you.
Gray One I'll talk about.
Okay.
It's very, very shortly, but it's about a girl I once knew.
Okay. Very cool. A lot of songs are about that,
Yeah.
so that's good. You'll fit right in.
About girls. Most of them are about girls. So.
All right. Awesome. Well, thank you very much for being on the podcast, Jason. I appreciate it.
This song is called Gray One. Apologize for all you've done. See you now, sophomore. Flesh and blood and flesh to another. Can't remember who was the other. Through the tears, I am your prayer. Hope I am your nightmare. 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 You're boiling water in the dark. Your gray eyes are dull but stark. You've never been safe in your skin. You shut me out and lonely I've been. Through the tears, I am your prayer. Hope I am your nightmare. 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 Didn't know I was meant to be. I wanted in, but you weren't for me. Black blood for something to find. Nothing but a rain of cloudy skies. Through the tears, I am your prayer. Hope I am your nightmare. 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 Hope I am your nightmare.
All right. Very nice.
All right, the working title is title. We'll go with that. All right. fever